In today's reading lesson, we're going to continue looking at our characters' personality traits, and we're going to find evidence to support our thinking when we describe them using a certain trait. We want to find evidence today focusing on their actions. What do they do in the story that lets us know that that is a great personality trait for that character? First, we're going to review our traits once again, because these are the words that your teachers are expecting you to use when you're doing your reading reflection. So we have curious, meaning they like to learn. Trustworthy, they are easy to trust. Appreciative, they are thankful. Clever, they show intelligence. Dishonest means they're not telling the truth. Confident, they believe in themselves. Irritable, they're easily frustrated all the time. Conceited, excessively proud of themselves. Rash, they don't think before making decisions. Prudent, they're wise or sensible. Unsympathetic, meaning they are just not understanding of other people's feelings. They don't really have empathy. Generous is showing kindness, wanting to help other people. Persistent, they don't give up. Mischievous, causing trouble, but kind of in a playful, almost innocent way. Determined, beginning with the end in mind, so setting a goal and working towards it. And then demanding, they want things to happen right away, or they want things to happen their way. So we've talked about how character traits describe what the character is like on the inside, and we can look at the character's words, we can look at the character's thoughts, and today we're going to look at the character's actions. What are they doing that shows that, the personality trait of that character? So our goal for today is to infer a personality trait by looking at the character's actions, and we're really going to practice using evidence from the text to show that. So first we're going to come back to our story, Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters, and this time we're going to listen to the third part of the story, the end of it, and we're going to look for actions. What do the characters do that let us know what their personality traits are?
Party moved through the forest. Brightly plumed birds darted about in the cool green shadows beneath the trees. Though anxious about her sister, Nyasha was soon filled with excitement about all there was to see. They were deep in the forest when she saw the boy standing by the side of the path. "You must be hungry," she said, and handed him a yam she had brought for her lunch. The boy smiled and disappeared as quietly as he had come. Later, as they were approaching the place where the two paths crossed, the old woman appeared and silently pointed the way to the city. Nyasha thanked her and gave her a small pouch filled with sunflower seeds. The sun was high in the sky when the party came to the grove of towering trees.
I'm going to stop right there because I already noticed some actions of Nyasha, some things that Nyasha did. First, it says she gave the little boy some food and said, "Oh, you must be hungry," and gave him something to eat, even though he didn't ask for any food. And then also when she saw the old woman, she thanked her, and she also gave her some sunflower seeds. So I could use those actions, those things that Nyasha did, as evidence to prove that she's generous, that she is sympathetic, she has empathy for other people and their feelings. She also wants to help other people. And so there's lots of character traits I could use to describe her just based on those two actions right at the beginning of this portion of the read aloud.
Their uppermost branches seemed to bow down to Nyasha as she passed beneath them. At last, someone announced that they were near their destination. Nyasha ran ahead and topped the rise before the others could catch up with her. She stood transfixed at her first sight of the city. "Oh, my father," she called, "a great spirit must stand guard here. Just look at what lies before us. I never in all my life dreamed there could be anything so beautiful." Arm in arm, Nyasha and her father descended the hill, crossed the river, and approached the city gate. As they entered through the great doors, the air was rent by piercing cries, and Manyara ran wildly out of the chamber at the center of the enclosure. When she saw Nyasha, she fell upon her, sobbing. "Oh, do not go to the king, my sister! Oh, please, father, do not let her go!" she cried hysterically. "There's a great monster there, a snake with 5 heads. He said that he knew all my faults and that I displeased him. He would have swallowed me alive if I had not run. Oh, my sister, please do not go inside that place." "If sister so upset, but leaving her father to comfort Minyara, she bravely made her way to the chamber and opened the door. On the seat of the great chief's stool lay a little green garden snake. Nyasha laughed with relief and joy. "My little friend," she exclaimed, "it's such a pleasure to see you. But why are you here?" "I am the king," Nyoka replied, and there, before Nyasha's eyes, the garden snake changed shape. "I am the king. I am also the hungry boy with whom you shared a yam in the forest, and the old woman to whom you made a gift of sunflower seeds. But you know me best as Nyoka. Because I have been all of these, I know you to be the most worthy and most beautiful daughter in the land. It would make me very happy if you would be my wife." And so it was that, a long time ago, Nyasha agreed to be married. The king's mother and sisters took Nyasha to their house, and the wedding preparations began. The best weavers in the land laid out their finest cloth for her wedding garments. Villagers from all around were invited to the celebration, and a great feast was held. Nyasha prepared the bread for the wedding feast from millet that had been brought from her village. Mufaro proclaimed to all who would hear him that he was the happiest father in all the land, for he was blessed with two beautiful and worthy daughters, Nyasha, the queen, and Minyara, a servant in the queen's household.
So now I'm ready to fill in my reflection document to describe the characters in the book. And so this time I think I'm going to choose Nyoka. Nyoka was the snake, right? But it turned out that he actually was the king. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put king. And what did he do? Well, I noticed he disguised himself as Nyoka, the little snake, but also as the hungry boy and the old woman. And I think that's important because to me that shows that the king was very clever. So remember, when you're clever, you're very skilled or very intelligent. So, well, obviously it's probably a skill to be able to transform into a snake. And then also it's really clever that he did that. So he was able to see what each of the girls was really like on the inside and not just what they wanted to kind of show him when they came to see him. Because we know Minyara was kind of like always nice in front of her dad, but mean to her sister when her dad wasn't around. So she wasn't always showing her true self to people. But when the king disguised himself, he was able to see what Minyara was really like, because she was rude to the boy and to the old woman. But we know that Nyasha was actually quite kind to them. So I would say the king is clever because he disguised himself as Nyoka, the hungry boy, and the old woman. So today you're going to listen to a story called Uncle Jed's Barber Shop. And after you listen to the story on the first slide, the second slide has some quick directions to make sure we understand what we're being asked to do. So it says to fill in the blanks on the next slide to describe Uncle Jed and show evidence from his actions. So when you're listening to the story, really focus in on what is it that Uncle Jed does and what does that tell you about who he is or his personality on the inside. And then finally, when I get to my reflection document, the part where you actually need to type to show you've done the work, the first blank, you would put the character, Uncle Jed, is, pick a personality trait from the word bank up here at the top. And then it says, because what? What did he do in the book? So that's where you type your evidence of what he did in the book that shows that he can be described as the personality trait that you chose.